Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to some more Hannibal, and it's absolutely, categorically not just 2 minutes after recording the previous week's episode. Not what's happening here. Ignore the same clothes. Last time on Hannibal we had Will and Gillian Anderson shooting the breeze, talking about their relationship with Hannibal, where it's led them, where their lives are going. We also got to see Spock choke on his own tongue, that happened. We had Hannibal and the Red Dragon Dollarhide having their conversation, sort of getting their relationship on the way. Dollarhide took Reba to see a tiger. She touched the tiger, not on the balls, and then he got excited and then they had sex. It was a good day for him, and it's probably all going to go crashing and burning right now on this episode because he ate a painting and Will saw his face. So now Will knows what he looks like, and drama is probably going to ensue. I'm wondering if this episode we're going to see what happens with Hannibal getting Will's address or not. And with us being so close to the end of the season and indeed the show, I'm kind of wondering where the Red Dragon story is going to end, or if the show is just going to end on that, or if we're going to have like a episode that is basically the epilogue episode of the whole thing and it's going to be something very different. I don't know. We'll wait and see, I guess. But before we jump into this next episode, please remember to hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy the reaction and the review that happens afterwards. Also consider subscribing and supporting the channel that way. There are links to Twitch and Discord down below. Come hang out. It's a good time. I'm running out of breath, so let's just start this next episode. Let's do it.
He ate a painting.
He ate it.
He ate it up. The art squad in New York snapped to it when they found out what he ate.
I mean, guys, it's not the weirdest thing that's been eaten on this show. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Mild concussion, but he didn't kill her.
He'd have been better off killing her. And you.
Maybe he's trying to stop.
Jack, you okay? I mean, I guess he's not wrong. I mean, Will saw his face, so... But it felt so aggressive, the way he said that.
You got me. Again. Hannibal told me where to find him.
He's like, yep, what a good idea it was to put you two back together.
It called my name. It wants her.
If it weren't for the power of your becoming, if it weren't for the dragon, you could never have had her.
Fucking Hannibal. Embrace it. Embrace it. You can have all the gifts if you just embrace it.
I don't want to give her to the dragon.
You can always toss the dragon to someone else.
Like who, I wonder?
Will Graham.
Yep, there it is.
Not very handsome, but purposeful.
Not very handsome. Were you kidding me? Dollarhide just didn't see Will with his popped collar look, okay? If he'd seen him, he would change his tune.
Kill them all.
Yep, there it is. So I guess we are going to be getting into Dollarhide going for Will's family. Because Hannibal wants Will's family removed, so then he'll come back to Hannibal and they can be a family again. Right? He's growing wings and tail! That's fucking freaky looking. The moon is rising, and with it, the dragon. It could be kind of goofy, like this visual representation of him growing wings and dragon tails and whatever, but it just kind of works. I can't put my finger on it, but I just kind of buy into it. I like seeing the visualization for him. Like it just, again, it puts you better in his mind a little bit.
I have some film that I need to check.
Does it have a soundtrack?
No.
Are these your nocturnal animals?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Think they know they're being filmed?
It's so creepy. It's so creepy. It's so just I hate it. I hate it.
Are the dogs gonna die? No, they're not gonna. Or the dog's gonna die.
No, you got them here really fast.
That was a good delivery.
He's contacted you.
How do you imagine he's contacted me? Personal ads? Writing notes of admiration on toilet paper?
There's a family out there who don't know he's coming.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
Do you know who they are?
Yes.
And you're willing to let them die?
In this case, yes. I mean, most cases, probably yes. It doesn't really matter to him. But in this particular case, yes. Fucking Hannibal, dude. I love that he doesn't have to pretend anymore. I'm just going to be me. You know who I am. You know how I do. You figure it out, bud. Why do I feel like I'm about to get subverted in some way? Okay, it seems like this is all happening in real time.
The car. Count to 100. If you see anyone else but me, run for the road.
Why don't we just go together? Let's just go together. Let's both go out this window. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why didn't you go through the window? Eee, that's awkward. Why is she down there? Why is she down there? Why didn't she go straight to the car? Is there a plan afoot? Oh, this was the plan. This was the plan. Use your son as bait, potentially. What's the plan? God damn, that was risky. Jesus. I mean, I guess it guarantees a stop, but she could have died. Fucking hell. Go, 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 go. That poor guy. That poor guy. What the fuck? Yeah, that sucks for you, dude. That sucks for you. Jesus.
You're both safe here.
This
Bit hard
crazy
to
guy
buy
wants
that.
to kill you.
No,
No, he wants to kill you. He wants to kill
you
you.
don't know what he wants. I'm gonna catch him. They'll put him in a mental hospital.
Said you killed a guy and you were put in a mental hospital.
Yes, yes. Bothers you.
I mean, you could sort of see why after what just happened.
And you shouldn't put this guy in a mental hospital. You should kill him.
Again, it's those comparisons between Will and Dollarhide. That's clearly going to disturb Will. Clearly going to mess with him and his head. And then Hannibal's going to be there. Come to me. Let me put a blanket around you, Will. I'll make it feel better.
I think I might go back to my family.
For a minute, I did.
Right. And then you realize what I realized, which is that I can't go home. Not until the Red Dragon is out of the way.
Technically, this is Jack's fucking fault. Like, if he'd just been like, you know what? I won't bring Will in. Never... I mean, I suppose in a weird roundabout way, the Red Dragon was kind of fascinated with Will, whether he was involved or not. So maybe it was unavoidable.
You have a telephone call. It's your lawyer. To confirm that he hasn't called you. Not since you've been declared insane.
You might have been rumbled, but I don't think he gives a fuck.
Would you have told me the truth?
In my own way, I always have.
I guess. Technically.
You have hubbed hell, Dr. Lecter.
I often do. You want me to speak with the dragon?
We need to make your contact work for us. Standing trace order for any time you're on the phone.
We'll see how that plays out, I guess. I expect Hannibal will find a way to use it for his advantage. A fucking dragon's beating him up. What the? Because he failed. He has to beat himself up. God damn. Dolarhyde is not having a good couple days. not going his way.
I don't know what's happening to me with you. You threaten me. You do not threaten me. It's confusing. I'm afraid I'll hurt you.
It was nice to spend time with someone who has the courage to get his hat or stay as he damn pleased. And gives me credit for the same. Get your hat, Francis. Get it and go.
Why is this heartbreaking and yet, like, good? Don't be near her. Don't hurt her, please. Please.
If I am not as strong as the dragon, she will die.
Don't let fear lead your strength.
I'm afraid she will come to the house to talk. And I don't know what will happen in the house. You know how easily she would tear.
It's like a more demonic golem. That's what's happening here.
They're listening.
Oh, what? What a little shit. I mean, you know, he didn't do it straight away. He gave them enough time, I would assume. But now he won't ever call again, I suppose, is the thing.
Hannibal's having his fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. He's got to entertain himself somehow, you know? He's in a glass box.
You're not the only one who keeps their promises, Hannibal.
I mean, he had to know this would happen.
The toilet, too.
He's found something more fun to amuse himself with. Those two guys are like, how do we take the toilet? Do we have to unplumb it? They're just like, I don't know.
You look different.
More handsome.
I told you to go. Nobody to blame but myself.
Well, you could also
And
blame Jack as well.
Jack Crawford.
Yep, there we go.
I do blame Jack Crawford.
He came after you because Hannibal suggested it.
Yeah,
he urged him to do it.
He was going for you guys, not Will.
We'll be back home. Won't we?
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be happy ever after here. Call me crazy, but I don't think it's happening.
I'm just about worn out with you crazy sons of bitches.
Jesus. This action hero line.
How's the wife?
How's my wife? She's lucky.
She survived the Great Red Dragon. Takes a pinch more than luck.
I'd say. See, she was fucking MVP in that shit.
Is this a competition?
Maybe a little bit.
He craves change.
He didn't murder those families. He changed them.
Don't you crave change, Will?
I would say he definitely murdered them. Just saying. But that's how he sees it. And that's the end of the episode. Boy, howdy, did a lot happen there. Jesus. One of the biggest things I took from that episode was just the idea and the theme of kind of characters dealing with failure. I mean, you obviously had Dolarhyde failing to kill Will's family, Molly and his stepson. And then we had the fallout of that, him dealing with that failure by, like, the dragon, aka himself, beating himself up to a pulp, then forcing himself to let go of Reba. And then you had Will dealing with his failures, his past failures, his ghost of what's happened previously catching up to him and what his current life is, what he was desperately trying to escape, but he just can't. In a weird kind of roundabout way, you have Jack kind of not acknowledging his failures in some ways. Like, he's just being, you know, kind of belligerent about everything, honestly. Like, he kind of, in the scene where Will's sort of talking about his discussions with Hannibal and that Hannibal knows who the dragon is, and, you know, it felt a little bit like Jack was like patting himself on the back. I was like, oh, I knew getting you two back together would be good for you in this case, and just completely ignoring all the bad shit that's happening because of it. It's also Hannibal dealing with the failure of not being able to convince Will to have their family unit and stuff and their life together. You know, that's been a recurring thing of Hannibal having to deal with how he wasn't able to pull that off, and, you know, it just sort of felt entwined with the other themes of failure that were happening in this episode. But on the flip side to that, Hannibal is kind of achieving all the things that he wants to achieve. He may have lost his toilet with some fumbling around, but he had to know that that was happening. You know, he's getting enjoyment from this. He is becoming relevant again, which he kind of wanted, because it perturbed him that he wasn't the hot thing in town anymore. So in many ways, he's just, you know, he's kind of taken where he failed, and he's like, well, I'm gonna take that failure and I'm gonna make a whole new success. But at the same time, it is like, even though there is that failure that looms over Hannibal, this whole episode really put into perspective how the man trapped in the glass box is really the one pulling all the threads here. Like, he's in control of everything that is going on from a glass box, now with no toilet in it. But does he care? Probably not, because he's having too much fun and enjoying how he's got so much control over everyone who think they are in control of him, but they're not. So we had a number of scenes that were kind of like, they're reminiscent of the scenes from the movie, which I'm familiar with. In particular, the scene with Dolarhyde watching the tapes that he's recorded of his next victims. In this case, it was Will's family. I mean, just as creepy here as it is in the movie. It's slightly different how it's done and what that situation all is, but it's still creepy. The fact that Reba's there and she can't see what he's watching, and, you know, it's just disturbing. It's disturbing. It's disturbing here. It's disturbing there. It's just, it's in my skin. I don't like it. It's just creepy. But we also, kind of importantly, we had Dolarhyde going for Will's family, which in the movie happens at the end. So I don't know if we're going to get Dolarhyde going for Will's family redux in the next episode or the episode after or whatever, but I don't know, it feels like they've purposely brought that element of the story forward so something else can happen later. So, I mean, we're stepping into maybe some unknown territory where the show's going to do its own thing with this story, and I'm interested to see what that's going to be. But as for the scene itself, you know, Molly just having the instinct of, like, before it even happened, that I know who it is, we need to move, we need to get out of here. Bit weird that she didn't go out the window with her son, but I guess it was part of the plan to cause a distraction and then yeet the other way. But I don't know, maybe it was her improvising. I'm not sure, because, like, her son, she told her son to go wait by the car and count, and then if you see someone who isn't me coming towards you, get the hell out of there. But she somehow got herself caught short underneath the decking rather than going straight to her son. So was she using her son as bait? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Whatever the case is, she made it work. She caused a distraction, got them going the other way. She then did get a passerby killed in a roundabout kind of way, but I guess desperate situation, you need the person to stop, you're going to do what you have to do. She nearly died. He did die. You know, unfortunate. Unfortunate for that man. Had the worst day imaginable, just driving along, minding his own business, shot in the head. I just feel like that whole thing is something Hannibal would respond to, like she had to do what she had to do to survive, and it meant getting somebody else killed in the process, which, you know, that's just spice for Hannibal. He loved that shit. But obviously this whole thing leads into Will having the conflicted nature of his very existence about who he is, who he's interacted with, trying to have this family who he can escape basically himself from into, and how that just isn't possible, seemingly. Like, as long as, you know, the dragon exists, as long as Hannibal exists, that's just never going to be a thing. It can't, because even if they stop the dragon and Hannibal's still around, Hannibal's going to find a way to fuck with it somehow. So, and it's just the idea of that dread of that realization is coming onto Will, is really starting to settle in Will's brain. And, you know, at the end here, he was angry, and it's kind of hard to tell if he was angry at Hannibal or if he's angry with himself, or both, because they're blurred lines, as it were. But it was a good scene seeing Will, he says it himself, having to justify himself to an 11-year-old, because, you know, he can have a sparring word match with Hannibal or Jack or Alana, and he can, you know, he can work that particular situation. But when he's confronted with an 11-year-old who he wants, you know, to have a, you know, a fatherly relationship with, and, you know, with his own anxieties about him having a kid and stuff, and, you know, it just makes a very different response from Will, which I liked. In some ways, it's a more honest response, like where he can, with all the other characters, he can be as manipulative as they can be and try and change the direction of the conversation and stuff, whereas confronted with 11-year-old who he wants to protect and, you know, loves, he's just like straight up honest. Like, the 11-year-old confronts him about a thing and he's like, I can't lie to you, I guess I just have to be honest, and it sucks, and it's kind of my fault, but it's also all these other people's fault, but I still blame myself. You know, the conflict within Will still going strong. It's just a very good performance from Hugh Dancy as the actor playing Will. Just this idea of him, he's constantly trying to run away from his past self, but in order to run away from his past self, he keeps running to Hannibal, who is the doorway to his past self. So it's that, like, it's just palpable, that whole dynamic, and it's a good performance, and yeah, it's fun. It's the heart of the show, and it's always like the most intriguing, best part of the show, and, you know, good shit, basically. Also, I picked up on this on the last episode as well, but it was very apparent in this one, where I don't know if it's Richard Armitage doing something with his voice, or if they're putting an effect in post-production on his voice to sort of show the difference between the dragon raising out of him in his personality versus Dolarhyde. Like, there were a couple moments here, especially in the phone sequence with Hannibal, with Jack and Alana listening in, where they really amped that up to show the split in personality and the transformation that is slowly taking place. We also got just a very strong visual thing going on now in these two episodes, where we've had him with the wings, the tail, just very on the nose, like this is how he sees himself, or how he's slowly seeing himself transform into. And there's a risk of that looking kind of goofy, but like I said in the reactions, I kind of like that it's a good gateway into his mind and trying to empathize with him in some way, because, you know, a lot of what this show is, it's about people whose jobs is to empathize with crazy people. So how do we depict that for an audience? You know, you have to find a way to visualize it, and, you know, I think they do a good job. It is most certainly walking a tightrope between being goofy and kind of silly, but I think they pull it off, because it is with the context of how the character is seeing himself, and it is a transformation, and, you know, it's scary and creepy. So I think they're doing a good job of it thus far. I do feel having the attack on Will's family happening now is that things could change from what I know from the movie from this point going forwards. I'm not sure though, maybe not. But I do feel that there's going to be some kind of subversion in the tale in terms of what you think you know as someone who may have read or watched Red Dragon previously. I feel like the show's definitely going to go down its own path with it. And I'm very interested to see what that's going to be. Tension is high, drama is high, and it's good. Like, there was a fear in me that because I've seen Red Dragon, I sort of know that material relatively well, not expertly well, but I was like, how invested in this am I going to be? I'm excited to see these actors perform it, but in terms of the story, am I going to feel the tension of it? And I can say, yes. Yes, I am feeling the tension of it. And like I've already said, the stuff that they're recreating from the source material, just as creepy here. Just as creepy, just as... So yeah, continuing to enjoy it. Oh my god, we're rolling along to this finale though, which is nerve-wracking. both because I don't know what they're going to do, and also means coming to an end, which, you know, this has been a journey. I kind of can't believe we're almost there, but here we go. But yeah, look forward to next time. See what happens, I guess. Thank you for watching this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, please click the thumbs up. Helps me know you liked it. Helps it get seen by more people. Also consider subscribing and supporting the channel that way. There are links to Twitch and Discord below if you want to come hang out over there. But for now, thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next one.